Today we're taking LeBron James and Steph Curry and swapping their NBA careers, meaning that LeBron will be taking his talents to the Bay to play for the Warriors, while Steph will be taking LeBron's place on his teams, all starting off with the Cleveland Cavaliers, which will give the two the chance to replay their legendary rivalry, where one will eventually stand alone as the greatest of all time.
The Cleveland Cavaliers select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
So with all that being said, their journey starting off with Steph Curry heading to Cleveland, where he'll have a 6-year head start over LeBron, who's not getting drafted until 2009, which is definitely something to keep in mind as time goes on, because both Steph and LeBron are going to be racing to 6 NBA championships, with the first to ultimately get there being crowned the greatest of all time. So with the two aiming for that many titles, it's only right that we fast forward a couple years to 2007, where Steph and LeBron's competition would finally start to take form. All starting off with our first glimpse of LBJ on the court as he's heading to Davidson College just as Steph does. But just like Steph, he'll have to wait a while and play 3 seasons with the team before he heads to the NBA. But on the other hand, Steph's situation would be completely different, as he's in year 4 of his NBA journey, dominating the league with over 25 points per game to lead the Cavs to the 3 seed. And by the time the playoffs came around, his dominance wouldn't end there, as the Cavaliers would make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals for a showdown with the Miami Heat, which for a variety of reasons will be Steph's most important matchup yet. With the first being that in the near future, Steph will be playing for the Heat as part of a big 3 that could become a potential dynasty. But maybe the most important of all would be the hype surrounding him, as he, just like LeBron, was born in Akron, Ohio, making him the potential hometown savior for the Cavaliers, who just so happened to be in the middle of a championship drought that spanned over multiple decades. And when you combine that with those who don't believe in him,
I don't think he's a winner. I ask you again, what has he won?
All eyes would be on his matchup with the Heat, which would wind up being as close as you would expect, with D-Wade attacking the basket and Steph launching from deep on their way to a Game 7. But in the end, it would be Steph who would carry the Cavs on the road to come out on top, with 3 after 3 after 3, to ultimately hold on to a late lead entering the final few seconds of the game. Second free throw to pretty much put it away, unless some sort of miracle happens. It's good. And with those free throws, it would ultimately be enough for the Cavaliers to stamp their trip to the NBA Finals. In only year 4 and at the age of 22, Steph Curry has led one of the NBA's worst franchises all the way to the finals. But his triumph over the Heat may be short-lived, because while the Cavs aren't known for team success, his final opponent just so happens to be one of the NBA's best. That being the San Antonio Spurs, who are led by 3 Hall of Famers: Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. But before we see how Steph fares against them, it's also important to mention that coincidentally, LeBron also made it to the 2007 Finals in real life, where he also had to go up against the Spurs. But where history can potentially change here is the result of the Finals, as LeBron was swept and Steph's fate is still to be determined. Because despite being the massive underdog, Steph would fare better than LeBron did, as while the Spurs trio would play well taking the first 2 games, Steph would shockingly be the best player on the floor in the next 3, helping the Cavs come all the way back to take the lead in the series, now being 1 win away from a championship. But of course, with 3 Hall of Fame players on the floor for the Spurs, this one wouldn't end so easily, meaning that after they took Game 6 in Cleveland, the 2007 NBA Finals would be going to Game 7, where Steph would have to win 1 more game in a hostile San Antonio arena to walk away as a champion, which will also give him an early 1-0 lead over LeBron, who, as a reminder, is still a few years away from entering the NBA. However, while the series may seem to be at its endpoint, it would only be the start of something truly special, as Steph and Tim Duncan would go at it, and when Manu and Tony Parker got in on the action, Steph would respond with 3 after 3 all the way until the 4th quarter. San Antonio would have the ball in a tie game with 20 seconds remaining, and of course a championship on the line. No doubt, Steph Curry's only at the beginning of what's about to be a legendary career. Right now, he's in the midst of the most important possession of his entire life, with the weight of an entire state on his shoulders. Here we go, 20 seconds left. About a second between the shot clock and the game clock. Looks like Manu and Tim Duncan are about to get busy. Here we go, Manu with the ball. Steph gets... Why did Manu just stop? Oh my God, they're about to hit this anyways. We're going to overtime. Oh my God. They advance it up the court, 40 seconds left. Steph is wide open. They do not pass it to him, but somebody, I bet you someone else is about to take this shot. Steph with the ball, they're about to send a double. Steph with the step back in the corner. Oh my God, he might have just won the championship with that shot. That is a crazy shot. Here we go, 34 seconds left. Steph has San Antonio on the ropes. Steph's man is about to come up. Oh my God, that's not David Robinson. I don't know. Oh my God, he missed it. Steph is too small. He doesn't get the board. We have a tie game with 24 seconds left. They throw it into Larry Hughes. If Steph doesn't get the ball here, I will be absolutely distraught. I have a bad feeling right now that they're not about to pass it to him, which is absolutely insane. They're not going to pass it to Steph. Oh my God, it's about to be a disaster. They throw it down to Ilgauskas in the post. Ilgauskas with the hook shot. Oh, is a champion, mostly due to the questionable decision-making and performance of players not named Steph Curry or Tim Duncan. But will triple overtime yield a different result and finally crown a champion? There's only one way to find out, as we'd see yet another close finish, with the Cavs finally up with a 1-point lead and 28 seconds left. Now one defensive stop away from a championship. There's no way Cleveland messes it up right now. 1-point game. San Antonio down by 1. Tony Parker to the basket, the floater, the Tony Parker, I almost said Tim Duncan. So with that, we'd be entering potentially the final possession of Game 7. But considering the chaos we just witnessed, it's impossible to predict what will happen next. Will the Cavs put the ball in the hands of the superstar who's carried them here? Or will they make an unbelievably questionable decision with a championship on the line? It's 2 in the morning and I'm yelling at 2K at a triple overtime game. Will Steph finally take the last shot? Here we go. Down by 1, 10 seconds left. Steph Curry with the championship on the line. Oh my, I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this one. Yeah, he's not taking the final shot. What are they? They deserve to lose. No way. Did it count? It counted. Yo, they actually pulled. How did they do it? What just happened? Steph Curry is a champion. In large part due to his teammate Drew Gooden, a player not known for scoring who just drained the most important bucket of the season, now giving Steph Curry a 1-0 lead on championships over LeBron. But don't count him out just yet, because he'll have his own major advantages later on. However, to focus back on Steph, with some help, he was able to break the Cleveland sports curse, which means that we can now officially enter a brand new era of NBA basketball.